Hello, this is John from the Haunt Informer,
And this is Glenn from Fall Ritual.
and this is episode 14 of Fall Informer. And today we have special guests, Grin and Cheeks from Bloodshed Farms.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi, everyone.
Grin here.
Cheeks.
And I guess we're Circus Rejects, Bloodshed Farms.
Yes, yes. And you can even see Grin back there with the whole jumpsuit and everything. Yes. Awesome. So,
thank you for coming. Thank you for having doing an
thank
interview
you.
with us.
yeah. Awesome. And of course, you got the Halloween shirt on. So,
Oh, yeah.
awesome. So, you've been scare acting for many years, and I actually did a little bit of research before I talked to you today. I actually re-listened to the podcast you were on with Howie Haunts 365. And I
sweet.
listened to how you started out with like the home haunting and everything, and I found that interesting. So I'm going to touch upon different things that they didn't talk about, like your actual scare acting and your character. So how did you actually start the Grin character, and how did that keep on going on in different costumes? Because I know you had like white jumpsuits and like the jumpsuit you have back there. How did it change over the years?
Sure. I mean, it's a very long story, but it started with we had a home haunt, me and my ex, and basically we were trying to get props for our haunt and came across a pill mill, an illegal pill mill out of South Philadelphia. They were selling all their medical equipment and stuff, and they happened to have this weird metal cabinet that was sitting on like the second floor of this place. I'm like, I want that. I don't know why, but I want it. But when I realized when I brought it home, it's actually from Penhurst. So it was a Penhurst casket that they moved bodies from place to place, and it had all these like old toe tags on it.
Wow.
So the listing's got to be worth money. So I put it up for sale. And it was Andrew who saw it from 13th Ward.
Oh, okay.
In Field of Screams. He's like, I got to have it. He's like, well, how about we do a trade? I'll give you a silicone mask in trade for the casket. I'm like, sweet. I've always wanted a mask. So got the mask, and it just kind of went from there. They're like, well, what do you want? How do you want it? I'm like, well, this is kind of what I want. I want my own mask. I don't want anyone to rip it off. I want my own look. And that's what they came up with. And pretty much the rest is history. As far as jumpsuits go, it's kind of like a mood. Every year, you feel a certain way towards people or about yourself. Sometimes I'm darker and meaner. Sometimes I'm lighter and funner. So everything that I wear with the mask is kind of like a feeling of how I feel that day.
All right, cool. What about your backstory, Cheeks?
Well, the funny story is I didn't create Cheeks until I met Grin. So we actually met at Bloodshed Farms. I was working at Corner of Chaos. They lost the property they were on. So I followed a friend to Bloodshed. He got me the job. And we met there and like became really good friends, everything like that. And it was like just after the haunt season. It was like coming up to the Philly Clown Crawl the day after Christmas. And he was like, let's do a costume. Like, your name should be Cheeks because I have a large butt.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of where Cheeks came from. And I just kind of started playing with makeup, playing with costumes. At first, I kind of wanted to go the sexier route. So like I did the corset and the tutu and all that fun stuff and created it out of like puffy paint and all that. And then we did the overall bibs when it was the three of us with Carnage, just so we kind of had a costume that matched because Carnage always had the bibs. So we thought it would be kind of fun to do. And then I started doing an underbust corset. Next year, Cheeks is going to have an all new look. Not really sure where it's going yet, but new costume is definitely in the works for Cheeks for next year.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, too. With costuming and your look, you always want to try and keep it somewhat the same, but different to keep people interested.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
you want to have that like thing about your character. That's always the staple in your costume.
Right.
Like Cheeks has had her pink corset, and then she had the pink overall bibs. And then this year I kind of did a black overlay on top of my pink tutu. So I've always had
You also
those
always
little,
have the upside down hearts on your costumes.
yeah, and I always have the upside down hearts on my costumes because if you turn a heart upside down, it's butt cheeks.
Exactly.
So, you know, there's always just little pieces that you always got to keep incorporated in your character because that way that's the one thing you're known for. People are like, that's who that person is.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Nice.
So how did you guys end up at Bloodshed Farms? Why? How did you guys end up? Why did you choose that haunt to go to?
They chose me. I was at National Hunters Convention doing this grin thing for the first time, which I think at that point I didn't even have a name. I just had the mask. My jumper that's back there was just pitch black. No kind of. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Clark Bish, the owner of Bloodshed, happened to be there and he was walking by. Basically, long story short, again, he's like, "Well, who do you work for? I like your look." I'm like, well, there's not really much of a look, but basically, he's like, "Well, you should come work for the prison." Like, I never even heard of the prison. I never been to Jersey for a haunt, so he's like, "Yeah, just give me a few months. Come check it out when we're done, like building, and see what you think." And I've been stuck there ever since. I mean, they're family. They're absolute family. Like right out of the get-go, we just clicked. They're great people over there.
Now, when you say ever since, how long is that?
2013 for you, 2013 for him.
Yeah.
For me, it's been since 2016. 2016. I got hired in August of 2016. Again, my home haunt had, you know, lost its property. They never reopened, unfortunately. They were definitely a great haunt to work for. Again, another huge family atmosphere. I still keep in touch with a handful of them, but Tyler, Straight Jacket Sam, whatever you want to call him, Sammy.
Yeah.
He was my brother from that haunt, and so was Bobo. We actually all came together, and we've all been there ever since. I mean, Bobo obviously took this year off. He had a baby. Tyler, Sammy took a year off.
Doing the DJ thing.
Doing, you know, DJing and stuff like that. But we've been, you know, siblings ever since then. And, you know, Clark and Jim and the whole Bloodshed family, they really welcomed the three of us with open arms. And
yeah,
we've all been there building, and we're part of build crew and, you know, doing whatever we can to help out and keep that family life still alive.
Awesome. And definitely tell everybody about your balloon trick, Cheeks. I think that's an awesome trick.
Yeah, I didn't even think to come prepared with my balloon trick. I didn't even think to grab some balloons.
I forgot.
So,
you can take it off the wall.
okay, so I have a picture of my balloon trick.
All right.
I can get to it. This was at Maryland Bike Week, so we were getting ready to go down for yet another convention, another show, and we've seen the balloon trick. We've seen it done different ways, and just sitting on a bedroom floor, like, hey, let's try it. So this is the balloon trick.
See what
You
there you go. Yep.
pull it in your nose and you pull it out of your mouth.
It's the flossing.
Yeah, it's flossing of your nasal cavities, pretty much.
Face flossing.
I always say that's how a clown, you know, cleans out their sinuses. But we've done it where, you know, one of our friends grabbed an end in his mouth and he grabbed an end in his mouth and they were playing tug of war through my nasal cavities. It's fun. And then you have little children pull it out of my nose and smack their parents in the face with it. I mean, I guess it's kind of frowned upon now with COVID. But
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that you have the blinky cups too.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Always gotta say festive.
HHN right here.
Yeah.
I got my HHN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I thought to grab that one.
Talk about the building process at Bloodshed Farms, because I remember the first time I went to Bloodshed Farms, that was the thing that really stuck out to me, is the fact that there weren't actual buildings to it. This is built from the ground up. And Grin, when I did my first review, you messaged me personally saying, you know, I'm part of the build team, and it's awesome that, you know, I saw that was just built from the ground up. So talk a little bit about that, of the actual building of Bloodshed.
So basically, it's pure hell, because we are basically at the mercy of weather. If it rains or anything like that, we're kind of screwed. But yeah, we're out in the middle of a field. There's no roofs allowed in Jersey. A lot of rules that we have to follow.
Fire codes with, you got everything's got to be 3'6", 3'6" wide. It's got to be handicapped accessible at all times.
Yeah, there's a lot that we have to follow that, unfortunately, there's, lots of field screens that we can't do half the stuff that they do. They're kind of grandfathered in, and PA's got different rules. And even parts of Jersey have different rules where some
different
places,
counties, different fire marshals, building inspectors. It really just depends on where you are. And in Columbus, they are so strict in where we're at. It's like we're so grounded on certain rules. There's no way to even just try and get toward that fine line. It's so hard.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, we are basically nonstop. I mean, we take off maybe 2 months out of the year for, snow, but we don't stop. Like even those 2 months, there's at least probably, I think at this point, there's got at least 10 of us. Mm-hmm. We're constantly, sketching down ideas and drawings and
group texts going on.
I mean, even though we're not building, we sketch, we talk, we have meetings. It's never ending. Like what you guys, customers see, they see a month of fun and scaring. It doesn't stop for us, like ever. Like, all right, well, that was fun, but like, how can we make it better next year? How can we change it? We always got to keep things new. Mm-hmm. So it never ends. It's tiring.
We were actually there last weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right before that crazy storm hit last Saturday and it got super cold, while it was still gorgeous out last Saturday, we were there.
I think there was about 8 of us. Yeah. We were starting to do demo work. I'm not sure if you guys probably know, but we lost a lot of land, pushed back the party area. So we're trying to recoup that land, try and reconfigure it. I think we have to do some land leveling. So everything's got to come down, get rebuilt, not the hayride. Hayride's fine and staying put, but yeah.
Walkthroughs, we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do, where things are going to go. We lost at least 50% of the property.
Well, 50% of the party area.
Well, we lost the whole party area, and we lost the entire clown house area where that was. So there's now, another company that took over that area. So. Well,
there's good and bad. Now there's going to be new trails for you guys.
Brand new attractions.
It matter of when. We're pushing for it. We really, really, really are. But it's good for customers because it's going to be totally new shit, new ideas. We got new builders to come in, so fresh ideas from there. We've had some talks already, and
lots of stuff going on in their brains.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming, hopefully.
Yeah.
So we'll just say that. I don't want to say too much, and then something happens, but it should be good.
Who knows what next year will bring? And that's why mainly this year we stayed with the drive-thrus, because we didn't know what was going to happen with COVID, and we just wanted to stay on the safe side. Like if there was another shutdown, at least we were still going to be where we were last year.
Yeah.
And we had such great feedback from the drive-thru. Like this is children's first haunts. Like
but some adults.
Even some adults who are so scared to go through these walkthroughs that this is something for them to do. I mean, for me, like personally, like my sister has special needs. She's epileptic. She has seizures and stuff like that. And she can't go through these walk-through haunted houses. And she came through last year and she had a great time. And it's so nice to be able to like have these people come and try us out and see that it's still a way for them to be incorporated in such a fun time of the year for all of us.
I agree.
Wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. And something I definitely want to ask you guys is, what have been your personal best scares, your personal best startle scares, or just scares in general at any haunted attraction you'll have worked at, including Six Flags, because I know you worked at Six Flags in the past.
You did his research.
Yes, I did. I started at Six Flags in 2009. So, I was there for 2 years and cornered for a couple, and then I've been at Bloodshed ever since. I mean, there's a lot of scares that stand out. I mean, I probably have one at each haunt that I've ever worked at.
Yeah.
So like working at Six Flags, I played a lot of different roles. I was kind of like a floater. But I played a victim as one of my characters. And I don't know if you guys have ever done Fright Fest and you've been to the Awakening Parade. which is really cool, where they bring all the ghouls out and all that stuff. So I was a dummy, or like a person that stood in the crowd. I stood with random people. Tell people, oh, I lost my friends. I think they're on the other side. I have to find them after the parade is. So I'm stuck here now. So this giant guy, he's like 6'6". His name is Eric. Really awesome dude. He also was best friends with Batman. So that was always cool. He actually came over and he would grab me out of the crowd, and see the look on these people's faces.
Like, oh, why do they think they can touch you here?
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, they can't touch us. What the heck is going on? And you're just screaming and flailing. And the one time my dad was there, he came to see me at Fright Fest, and he played it up too. That was like the best thing ever. Like, best memory at Six Flags for sure. Corner, I actually played a Silent Hill nurse, and was in the cornfield. I did contortion work back then, not so flexible now. But I would actually lean against a fence, and I'd put my whole body upside down, kind of like have my foot by my head. And people were like, there's no way that thing is real. They're like, what the heck is going on? So kind of a scare, kind of not so funny story. So no lie, straight dead story. Midget came up to me and kicked me in the head with his steel-toed boots.
Ooh, ow.
Funny, because then I jumped up and scared the crap out of him. He went flying into the cornfield, took down a decent amount of chunk of corn around me.
Oh, no.
Which happened quite a bit. They always knew what area I was in, because there was big chunks of corn missing from customers flying into the corn behind them. And then probably my best scare at Bloodshed that I can, really, really say like was a great memory for me is I scared this young boy. He was there with a group of his kids. I had him pinned in a corner, just crying his eyes out. He was in a ball. And at some point, you got to let him go. You can't just hold him there. And I'm scaring the people that are like trying to get past me too. But yeah, that was funny. He was crying a lot, and his friends were laughing at him. But yeah, then he finally got past me and ran away into his room with chainsaws. So he didn't get very far.
Yeah.
A good one this year. This year was a good one. It's very hard to work with cars. So it's
very hard.
It sucks for us as actors.
Yeah.
Cars aren't as fun, but I dove through someone's car window because the window was down, dove through it. Scared this girl so bad she farted. She's like, I seriously think I just shit my pants. And I know for a fact she farted because it hit me in the mouth like a ton of bricks. Oh, it was terrible. But it was one of the craziest things that ever happened.
We also had fun tag teaming this year, working together. Like, we've been haunting together for so long now, and we've never really gotten to scared with each other at a haunt.
Right.
And there was just some cars where we just had a blast scaring them. We were both just inside the car completely, terrorizing children who were in the back seats of the cars, literally going into the trunks of their cars.
Oh, yeah.
Because both of us are in there. The parents are recording and laughing.
Yeah.
Never find those videos, but.
I also, this was, I think back at the prison. It was me, I think it was at the prison.
Lobo?
No. Maybe it was the first year that we were at the other field of Bloodshed. It was me and Carnage. We were tag teaming chainsaws. Basically, we scared the girl so bad she had an asthma attack and threw up in the room.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was up there and one of the greatest moments.
Yeah. There's just so many that it's so hard to pick one. There's just so many. You always have a favorite from each year.
Correct.
Or that'll always stay with you. Even from conventions, we have such fun times at conventions where we're scaring people, just walking down the street from our hotel to the convention, and people are like, what the heck is going on, or whatever. But there's always your favorites, but there's never just one.
Nice. Oh man, do you have another question, Glenn?
Yeah, I want to talk about the drive-through for the past 2 years that Bloodshed has been doing. We all know that being a haunt actor is very grueling. It's physical, on your body, mental. It's just a grueling. What is it like doing a drive-through where it's just a constant flow of cars coming in? That there's no break, right? It's just a constant, like, what is that like?
I mean, I'll say, so I did a half a season last year.
You did the whole season except for the last weekend.
I think I missed 2 weekends, but either way, I'm relentless. I don't want to miss a car. I feel like everyone paid the same money. I want to give everyone the same show. I don't care if you got an upgrade or not. You're getting it. So I drove myself into the ground. I never stopped. I literally hit every car, if not every car, twice, and it just it burned me out. I literally wrote Jim and Clark. I'm like, I quit. I can't do it. I'm fried. I'm getting too old for it. But that was my fault. Like they constantly push us to like take breaks.
Yeah.
I'm a pain in the ass. So I don't like to take a break. so for that last year was really, really rough for me. But I told myself, take breaks this time, still go super, super hard. I actually ended up being out in the parking lot, which still hitting every single car, but I was able to hit all the cars, take a break, hit them all again, because they're all in my area. They're trapped with me, so I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, and hide in the shadows out there in the woods. So it was, this year was a blast.
He loved Overflow, where there was no lights, so they didn't see him coming.
This year was awesome, but it's hard. I'll tell you what, those actors that are in the trail, they're dying.
Yeah.
They're dying. They're working their asses off, and I applaud them. They were great.
Yeah. I mean, the last 2 years I did get really lucky. I mean, last year I was put into the attraction. It just ended up being that they needed line entertainment. The lines got so long. These customers needed something to do during that time. And luckily this year they moved the food vendor out to before the attraction instead of after. So, they did have a little bit more to do, but we had a lot of line entertainment out there this year. I feel like
the most we ever had.
The most we ever had for line entertainment in general. But there was points where they would just see him and they'd be like, my kids can't do this. We have to leave. I don't even care that I just spent X amount of dollars to come here. Keep my money. My kids are done. And they would just leave before they even got to the front of his line.
I made a few people leave right away.
Right away. They were just done. They were like, I can't do this.
So I would run out from cars that are parked in the dark and almost get hit by a car, and I do it on purpose.
Yep.
Just to get that real factor, these guys are nuts. And they're like, we're going to leave now.
Yeah, and it's really hard because, you gotta have you can't really scare the drivers.
Right.
We don't want our actors to get hurt. We don't want our scenes to get hit by cars.
No.
But I mean, we've all probably gotten our toes run over within the last 2 years. I know I definitely got my foot ran over once or twice at least. And you just kind of got to stand there and you're like, well, we're just going to wait this out and just let it keep on rolling. But I mean, it's so much fun. I mean, I can't wait to have Bloodshed back to the way we were. But the cars were a lot of fun. I mean, it was definitely hard to scare, especially last year when it was windows up and there's people with super dark tints. You couldn't see what the reactions were. They could barely see us. Yeah. And it was just so hard to break those barriers last year. It's so hard to get into them, really get in their personal space and really mess with them. And this year it worked out better because the windows were allowed to be down. There was people who still opted to have their windows up, whether it had been a cold night or maybe they were just too scared or whatever. But it was a lot of fun, even though it wasn't
hands-on and up close and personal as it should be.
Yeah, but it was still a great time. And again, it was just really hard to get in those barriers. And again, it was, as Glenn was saying, it's non-stop. It's literally non-stop.
Yeah.
So especially when it's just a backup and there is literally no break between cars and it's bumper to bumper going through because there's that one person who's driving and stopping at every scene and causing a pileup. But it happens and you just kind of deal with it and keep on moving.
Cool. And I heard you earlier alluding about chainsaws being the chainsaw guy. I know you guys had fun throwing chainsaws back and forth, Monkey in the middle with Cheeks in the middle. Can you talk about that?
Sure, that was a threesome of death. I think that was at the same show.
Yeah, the same show as the balloon trick.
Was that in Maryland somewhere?
Maryland, Ocean City, Maryland.
So we always bring chainsaws with just to chase people or whatever. And we were just messing around. I forget what was the guy's name?
The guy who ran
Ocean
City?
The sideshow guy.
Oh, he was from, oh God.
Their name?
Corey?
Yeah, Corey, but I don't remember the name of the show.
So his name was Corey. He was with, was it Sick? No, it wasn't Sick Art.
No.
I forget the name of the sideshow that they're a part of. They're not together anymore.
But anywho, we're like, we're drinking. I mean, and me and Carnes were like, let's throw some saws at each other. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna throw this one to you. You catch it while you're throwing this one. So we started with
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took it.
That's right.
One at a time,
and I'm
seeing how well we did.
We're professionals. We got two. We're gonna do two. And
while they're running.
Yeah. And then our buddy Corey's like, come on guys, we're gonna do it in front of everyone. Like, hell yeah. All right. Sure, I'm a little drunk. We're gonna do that. Yes. So we start doing it, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, the threesome of death, Cheeks, get in the middle. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know this. I don't know how much I trust them.
But me and Carnage can really read each other. Like we're really, really close, and just tiny little things like you got to move over a little bit. It's not right. It's not right.
Yeah, I mean the chainsaws weren't directly over my head. There was one here and one here, like not directly over.
But we aren't kind of we're
clowns.
We're semi-professionals.
Yeah.
So accidents can happen 100%. And it was scary every time we did it. We did it at multiple shows. We did it there, Baltimore Tattoo.
Inside at Baltimore Tattoo.
It's scary.
They love that.
But yeah, I don't know. Me and Carnage have talked like, you know, if anything happens sometime in the future, we are probably going to do it again. We would like to do it again.
To work on that upper arm strength again.
If someone's willing, we are talking about, wouldn't it be cool to maybe have chains on? But we'll see. We'll see.
Chains on me? Like chains on the chainsaw.
Great. Yeah, both.
Yeah, both.
Chaining. If one day we come back, one day.
Yeah.
As the Circus Rejects, all three of us. We'll see.
Gotcha.
There might be also talks about Circus Rejects coming back. So
no, there's not. No. Moving on. Next question.
Next question.
It's a question I usually ask everyone we interview. If you can go to any haunts anywhere, you know, what are your top 3 haunts that you would love to check out?
I definitely want to go to HHN in Hollywood.
Yes, that's definitely on my top 3. Headless Horseman. I would love to go to Headless Horseman. I've heard really great things.
Yeah.
What's another one for you?
There's so many.
I know there's a lot. I mean, I heard about Haunted Overload is really good. Our friend Straight Jacket Sam was just at a haunt in New Orleans that he said was phenomenal. Love to go down there.
But it's crazy, like even local stuff, like Kim's Crypt.
Never been to Kim's Crypt. Never been to Jason's Woods.
301 Devil's Playground. I really want to go there.
Lehigh Valley Scream Park. I heard they had a great comeback here.
They did.
Real quick. Props to you guys at Scream
Lehigh
Park.
Valley.
Lehigh Valley. You guys coming back from fire. That's freaking awesome.
And
the shirt design is awesome. Back from the ashes. Well done. Sometime we'll definitely come check that place out for sure.
Yeah, I didn't get to go this year, but Glenn did, and he said it was awesome.
Yeah.
They did a really phenomenal job. I was so happy to see them come back stronger. It's just a really cool vibe. It actually reminds me a bit of Bloodshed, what they're doing out there. The vibe out there is just really cool. Their midway is great. Great crew out there.
Yeah, it's definitely like the biggest fear, right? Is a fire breaking out. Like
absolutely.
Most of the time, for a haunt to come back from that, you can't come back from that. There's no money. You know, that's a hard thing to rebuild. So
and to lose everything. I mean, they literally lost everything, and just to come back from it was unbelievable. And they did a great job.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then, like, we also have our favorites that we always want to go back again to, like Field is like one of our top haunts, and we have such great friends there. Again, they're like a big family to us. They welcome us with open arms anytime we want to come and play. Like, they're such a great haunt. Reaper's Revenge, again, they've given us open invitation to come anytime we want to come and play, and they're a phenomenal haunt. I can't wait to see their new Delirium attraction eventually. We didn't get to go, and there's, you know, so many great haunts just around us within that 2-3 hour drive. Even the ones that we haven't seen.
Hollow Scream. I love seeing Hollow Scream.
Oh yeah, Hollow Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot that we want to see.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard when you're a haunter to go to these other haunts.
No time.
Like, we have to either go in September before we're open or November after we're closed.
Or call out during October and piss off Jimmy Clark. That doesn't work.
It's like, here goes two of my great actors.
It's like, it's always sad when it rains and like we get rained out, but then we're like, literally the second it rains, we're like, okay guys, what haunt are we going to? Who's open? Who's got this attraction? Like,
oh my gosh, that's great.
Oh, but I've also never been to Brighton. I really want to go to Brighton. I've never been.
I went to Brighton this year and I hadn't been for years. I'd only gone to their Christmas haunt, Stand Sleigh, which was a ton of fun. I went to that back in 2018 and I went this year the first time in years. It was so cool. They did so many changes. It was really.
I want to go to Brighton for their Christmas haunt because I've never done it.
Oh, it was a ton of fun. Years ago, it was awesome. It was really good.
Bane's really good too. I don't know if you've ever been to Bane.
Bane is now in New York City, but
I think
they are the most interactive haunt that I've ever been to.
I would say interactive. I would say friggin' hands-on.
Hands-on interactive haunt. It's
so good.
Literally jacking you into walls. Like, it's insane. You can tap out and then you get laughed at by everybody because they literally put a spotlight on you. It's hilarious. But I had such a blast. And like, I mean, like, I would laugh the whole way through. Like, I just had so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, so much fun.
Yeah, that and 13th Hour. Very, very good.
13th Hour is very good.
The list is endless.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I literally wrote up a list of haunts I want to go to the other day, and I was just scratching the surface, and I already had 2 pages. So, and that was Fall Informer. And I had been John from the Haunt Informer.
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
Yes, and this has been the 14th episode of Fall Informer. And check back next time because we will be doing more episodes. Check back twice every month. And as always, happy hauntings.